Now, Colchester feels more convenient than a lot of rural Connecticut towns, but it is still not for everyone. A lot of buyers think Colchester checks every box until they live here. So, before you buy a house in Colchester, there are a few things that surprise a lot of people. My name is Jason Boyce. I am a local realtor here, and I have sold dozens of houses in Colchester. I think one line that just describes Colchester very well: Colchester, it sits right in the middle. It's not fully rural, but it's not fully suburban. And that balance works well for a lot of people, but not for everyone. So let's talk about who Colchester is a bad fit for. Number one, if you want a big downtown with tons of nightlife and a huge bar scene, Colchester is not a good fit. Now, Colchester does have some local spots that are fantastic, but expectations matter here. A few local areas that I like: you have Inishmor. This is a true downtown staple, right off the green. It has casual pub food, drinks, a local crowd. It's a great place to meet friends. It is not this huge, large nightlife destination. Another popular one is Priam Vineyards. Very popular for wine tastings, live music, seasonal events. They do have comedy nights throughout the nicer weather, which I love. It is more of an event place and experience. It's not a go-out nightlife destination. So those are a few of my local favorites. But I really have to be honest, in Colchester, there is no huge go-out nightlife district where there's bar hopping, walkable entertainment corridor, that type of stuff. If that's what you're looking for, Colchester is not going to be a good fit. It does have some great local places, but just not a huge nightlife scene. It's more like, hey, let's go out and grab a drink at a local bar or a vineyard, not let's go out for the night and walk and try all these different places. Number two, if you are only focused on a top-tier school ranking system and you need a top 10 school district, Colchester is not going to be a good fit. Now, Colchester has a very solid and well-regarded school system, but honesty matters here, and Colchester schools do perform well for many families. It is just not consistently ranked in the top 10 statewide, so buyers that are shopping strictly by school rankings often choose other towns. I think a very accurate line or description here: Colchester schools are good, but if your decision is purely based on chasing a top-tier statewide ranking, Colchester will not be your first choice. I want to point this out because honesty matters here, and for families that are relocating and buyers that are comparing towns side by side on a comparison, relying heavily on school rankings, Colchester is going to fall short. Number three, if you expect suburban convenience everywhere, if you want to be 5 minutes away from everything, Colchester is not going to be a good fit. Now, Colchester is geographically large, so in some areas you do have a downtown and it'll feel suburban, but others around the perimeter are very rural, which means you could be in the same town running errands, but still take 10 to 15 minutes of driving just to get there, depending on your location within town. So Colchester looks really convenient on a map, but daily life does still involve driving. So as you can see on this map, major highways running through Colchester are routes 2 and 11. Subroutes are going to be Route 16, which runs east to west, and Route 149, which runs north to south. And then on the other side of Route 2, Route 616, which also runs east to west. Now, the main business district is going to be located just north of Route 2, where you have Old Hebron Road, Main Street, and Broadway all converging. This is where you'll find Inishmor, the town green, the town library. And then further down Main Street, you'll find Subway, McDonald's, Wendy's, a Dunkin' Donuts. Toyo Hibachi Fusion, if you love sushi, is fantastic. But once you get outside of that downtown area, Colchester does get rural. So if you're looking for a whole town where it's suburban throughout and everything is 5 minutes away, Colchester's not going to be a good fit. It does have a lot of options, especially out in eastern Connecticut where a lot of the areas are rural, but it is not a true suburban hub if that's what you're looking for. Number 4. If a short, predictable commute is a non-negotiable for you, Colchester might not be a good fit. To give you some idea of approximate driving times, from Colchester, Hartford, Connecticut is going to take you 35 to 45 minutes, possibly longer if you hit rush hour traffic or winter weather. Now, the University of Connecticut, or UConn in stores, going to take you about 30 minutes. And if you're trying to go to the shoreline, think like Essex or Old Saybrook, you're looking at 35 to 40 minutes. And that can take longer if you get stuck in the summer traffic. So I have to point out also that we do have winter weather here in Connecticut. So those times can get longer. If you get snow or ice, your commute times can increase. So if you need short, reliable drive times every day, Colchester might not be a good fit because they can vary depending on where you're coming from within town, as it does take up a long area. And Colchester might not have everything you're looking for, so there are times where you might have to drive outside of town, especially if you're looking for more nightlife and other things that aren't located right in town. Colchester does have a Stop and Shop, a grocery store, so your daily essentials are all here, but any of those extra things, like if you want big box retail stores like Home Depot or anything like that, or if you want a mall, you are going to be traveling to other towns. Number 5, if being close to a full-service hospital is critical to you, Colchester likely won't be a good fit. Now, Colchester does not have a full-service hospital in town. So if you're looking for one, typical drive times are going to be 20 to 25 minutes to Bacchus Hospital in Norwich, 30 to 35 minutes to Middlesex Hospital in Middletown, and about 40 minutes to Hartford Hospital, which is the largest Trauma One medical center in the area. There is also smaller Wyndham Hospital that's about 15 minutes away. There is also an emergency care center in Marlborough, also about 15 minutes away. The Marlborough Center, it's just emergency care. They do not have hospital beds. Now, for most people, this is totally fine. But if you want a full-service hospital close by, this is definitely something you should know, you should be aware of, and you should be factoring it into your search. Number 6, if you want tons of housing options and inventory and choice, Colchester might not be a good fit. Now, inventory fluctuates here, and there is a lot of competition when good homes hit the market. Now, one of the cool things about Colchester is compared to some of the surrounding towns, it does have a larger selection of listings. So it has everything from starter homes to $800,000 large colonials, but it does not have an unlimited supply of inventory. So Colchester does have options, just not unlimited amounts. It is also slightly lower priced than some of the surrounding towns, so your money does go a little bit further here. And that is a benefit and why I do help a lot of people searching end up buying in Colchester. But just know that it is not a massive inventory and it is a competitive environment. So you might be competing against multiple offers. And if you are, with multiple offers, having a realtor that knows how to navigate that to help you be in a position to win, but not overpay, is super important. This is something we help people do all the time. And if it's something that you want to have a conversation about, feel free to reach out. We are here to help. And number 7, if you want low maintenance living, Colchester might not be a good fit. Now, maintenance is going to vary by location in town. If you're on the perimeter of Colchester, you're going to have a well and septic system. You're going to have larger lots, so larger mowing, trees, maintenance. So those will be higher maintenance. Now, if you're closer to downtown, you'll have smaller lots, more public utilities, and therefore lesser maintenance. But it's something you should know about and be cognizant of depending on where in town you're searching. Right? Colchester, it can feel suburban in one neighborhood, but rural in the other. So, that being said, who is Colchester a good fit for? Well, Colchester's a good fit for buyers who want balance and people who are okay driving for amenities. Not super far, but it is a drive. For families seeking value relative to nearby towns, and for those who like some space without being fully remote or rural. Now, if you're trying to decide between Colchester, Marlborough, Hebron, East Hampton, a lot of these surrounding towns, I help people figure out which town best fits their lifestyle, not just the best house. So if you found this helpful, please like this video, If you want to provide any comments or questions below, please do so. I do respond. My direct contact info is below. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, call me or text me. And thanks for watching.